it is important for us to accept that it is indeed an undeniable fact that the Ghanaian economy, all is not well for us. So, Speaker, as we speak, the Ghanaian economy is in an intensive care unit. Mr. Speaker, permit me to diagnose the sickness of the Ghanaian economy. Mr. Speaker, to surprise you to know that the Ghanaian economy today is sick from what we call stagflation with acute debt overhang syndrome. In other words, you can call it sardosis. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the Ghanaian economy as we speak is sick from stagflation with acute debt overhang syndrome. In other words, sardosis. Mr. Speaker, why am I saying so? Mr. Speaker, I say so for a simple reason. Stagflation is a situation in an economy where there is slow and jobless real sector growth that is accompanied with high unemployment and rising inflation. Mr. Speaker, we all know that as we speak, there is rising unemployment in this economy. In fact, unemployment has become a national security threat. Mr. Speaker, inflation is rising, obviously, as a result of food inflation because prices of food is going up. Mr. Speaker, again, prices of fuel at the pump is skyrocketing almost every window, and that is why we are seeing a surge in inflation. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the data before us in the budget point to the fact that we are seeing a slow in the real sector growth. In fact, it is stagnant, and in most cases, it is reducing. Mr. Speaker, permit me to give you some statistics from the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, clearly, agriculture that grew at 7.4% in 2020 is expected to grow at 5.3% in the year 2021. Again, Mr. Speaker, industry that grew at a negative 3.6% is also expected to continue to grow at a negative rate of 0.5% in 2021. Mr. Speaker, surprisingly, the key sectors of the service industry, such as real estate that create jobs, in fact, in the year 2020, the real estate grew at 12.5%, but is expected to decline further to 10% in the year 2021. Mr. Speaker, financial and insurance sector that grew at 5.5%, again is expected to grow at 5% in the year 2001. Mr. Speaker, in information and communication grew at 22.5% in the year 2022, is expected to grow down to 21% in the year 2021. And finally, Mr. Speaker, health and social sector that grew at 8.2% is expected to grow at 8% in the year 2021. Mr. Speaker, coupled with stagflation, this Ghanaian economy is witnessing what I call acute debt overhang. Mr. Speaker, let me give you some statistics. And I point to the budget statement. In fact, I take you to Appendix 2B of the budget statement, page 229. Mr. Speaker, clearly, the minister has informed us in the budget statement that the first 9 months of the year, from January to end September 2021, they have collected tax revenue of 37.1 billion Ghana cedis. Tax revenue. Obviously, you will pay your debt with your tax revenue. Mr. Speaker, in the same budget statement, the next page, page 230, expenditure under Appendix 2B, the government informed us that in the same period, from January to end September 2021, they spent 25.3 billion Ghana cedis to pay interest only. Interest. Mr. Speaker, again, I refer you to Appendix 2C. The government is informing us that they spent 9 billion Ghana cedis for the purposes of amortization, which means you are paying down your debt. To put the two together, we spend an amount of 34.4 billion Ghana cedis of the 37 billion tax revenue to service interest alone, debt servicing. The Speaker, in simple put, we actually spend 93% of our tax revenue to service our interest. This is certainly a case of an acute debt overhang. Mr. Speaker, let me also point to the fact that this government inherited a debt of about 120 billion Ghana cedis. Today, our minister responsible for finance had said to all of us that the debt as of September 2021 has become 341.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in fact, if you do the math, it means that within a space of 4.5 years, you have added 221 billion Ghana cedis to the debt stock, representing almost 65% of our GDP in 4.5 years. So, Speaker, that is why I repeat that this economy is sick from sardosis. It's self-inflicted. The sardosis is self-inflicted. We are witnessing stagflation. We are witnessing acute public debt overhang. So, Speaker, that is the situation we find ourselves, unfortunately. But let me take you to what is happening. So, Speaker, this sardosis calls for an important decision. As a country, we have to make choices. In fact, a very difficult choices. A choice to fix this sardosis at home, or probably go to the hospital to fix this sardosis. But, Mr. Speaker, for me, what matters and what is most critical is taking the right prescription with the right dosage. Mr. Speaker, I will take you through as to whether this government is taking the right prescription in solving our problems. Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that the budget that has been presented to you, to us, is clearly very unrealistic, unacceptable, in fact, incredible.